part 2 of a different punter show featuring Patrick Murphy and now welcoming Matthew Taylor.
G'day.
How are you?
That's good.
Is this a world record? 5?
Five's pretty good for us. We're getting we need a bigger camera. Dollars sitting over those little toilets. Don't drop a grog and big show. Any questions there for Patrick?
Yeah, we got a few.
Oh, beautiful, man. Mate, you had a show today.
Hey?
You had a show.
I shaved
looking young, isn't he?
Yeah, so one from...
You didn't notice my new clean choppers.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah, of course.
Have a look at
Went to
them.
dentist, $150. Fair dinkum. He did the best job. Scrapes all that crap off. About 20 people said to me, "Have you had your teeth done?" Good, don't they?
So what do they do? Is it like a little buffer that goes off?
And then, yeah, he scrapes it all off. Then does in between. Then a little like cut polish in the car, and they come up like I was 14.
Yeah, there you go.
There you are, little milky teeth. I got lovely.
Just to match the body of the
And you keep running your tongue over your
You
teeth.
keep running your tongue.
Yeah.
Anytime you see a girl, you go, hello. It's the fucking best kind of all time. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, if you're out there, go get your teeth done and get them clean. You'll feel like $1 million. Cost you $150. It was enormous.
Beautiful. All right, there it is. Before you wanted to go, before we go for Patrick, do you want to talk about your Katie Couric moment of the week?
Oh, another Katie Couric moment of the week.
Who's Katie Couric?
Well, it's the Seinfeld episode.
Katie Couric's an American host.
News anchor.
Oh, right.
News
okay,
anchor.
okay.
She was on, every time she came on TV, Kramer would have a spasm attack.
Conniption.
And they took a,
Yeah.
was it?
Right, okay.
Yeah.
So during the week there was a horse racing, it doesn't matter where it was, but I'm at home and listening. It was called Should Have Put a Ring on It. SHUDAPUTARING. One word. Should have put a ring on it.
Yeah.
Song. And then on it.
Lyrics.
It's from the song, from Beyonce's song. Even I know that. And of course, in there at Sky, they were talking about shut up and put a ring on it. Like, oh, what are you even reading in there? Shut up and put a ring on it. And then the other bloke's talking about, oh, imagine calling the horse that, because he obviously didn't read it. The caller got it right. It was called Should Have Put a Ring on It. But if you had to listen to the rubbish that I did, look, in there at Sky, it's good if you can read. That will help.
So they haven't done the courses that Pat might do.
Yeah, oh, no, you'd be sweet at Sky.
Yeah. As I said to Pat, he'd be great at Sky.
Run the whole station.
What do you mean? He won't get a gig because he's not going to...
Too much intelligence.
Not a female.
Should have put a ring on it, and I got shut up and put a ring on it. I was at home doing a Kramer having a Katie Couric conniption.
Understandably, it's...
How do you get shut up and put a ring on it? How does should have put a ring on it? It's SHUDAPUTARING. Oh, yeah, these 7 words in one word.
They've added about what?
It's an American thing.
You look at it and you go, oh, that's what it means.
Yeah.
Beyonce's song.
Yeah.
And they're talking about shut up and put a ring on it.
Yeah.
Which is S-H-U-T and then a U-P. There's no T, there's no U-P. I don't know how they did it, but it was...
Just be careful you
it
don't
was
bump your
interesting
head.
watching.
Just be careful you don't bump your
Great
head.
work, Sky Racing.
Anyway, emails or tweets or whatever it is for
Yep.
Mr. Patrick Murphy.
We've got one from Snowy, Nathan Snow, who's obviously a friend of the show. What's the best spray you've heard a jockey give Glenn?
Give me?
Yeah, there's Glenn.
Oh, there's some beauty.
Yeah, I remember one day at Wyong Bossy.
They've given me some beauties.
Bossy at Wild.
Yeah, Bossy at
Was that-
Wyong was a good one, and he was riding. He did ride him bad, a couple, and he copped it, and he said, the best thing to do, because I went, what's going? He goes, the best thing to do is come out and win on one, and he won on these next horse at 20 to 1. I think he had 3 favourites that went nowhere.
Yeah.
And he's come out and 20 to 1 won the last.
Yeah.
And a horse with no form at all. I think that was a good
But it's
one.
funny, I use all those little psychological things against them. Sometimes I go into Europe and complete imbecile. You can't win this race, and I've actually bet up on it. they do ride it perfect.
I reckon the best spray though that I've seen it was with Jimmy Woo.
Yeah, I got a good one with Clarkey during the week. Clarkey or Josh Parr. I said the things you've done to me, and he looked over me and said, as long as I could just keep you down. One of the two. I don't know which was Clarkey or Parr. I have this running battle with both, who are both pretty good fellas, but I can't believe there's not more punters that give jockey sprays, or why it's not more of a vocal sport.
There's no punters there to do it.
Yeah, it used to be.
The best spray I got was, I rode a horse for Guy at Newcastle. It was a beautiful staying horse. He used to just get back and go around him.
Yep.
And it was Newcastle Newmarket Day, or one of the ones on the Thursday. And I just went back, went to go inside, closed outside, and I was panicking. Like, it was only a claiming premise. I was panicking, just trying to get out. And then they had me. Oh, I should have won. They had me in the room all day,
digging a deeper hole for yourself every time.
Yeah, and like I got a bit of a spray coming back in. I was in the room all day. But then I went to Canberra on the Friday, and I rode a winner, and I come back in, and there was no one there, and someone goes, "Anya Murphy!" and I turned around, He goes, "What happened yesterday, you effing spastic?" And he sucked me in, so I've turned. I'm like, yeah. And I'll take me saddle off. Yeah, you got me there, mate. No, just stand there. I went, nah, I can't beat that. Like,
They're grouse, aren't they?
Yeah.
Sucked me in.
I still love when every time I hear about the spray stories, old mate, I used to read the scriptures to Darren Beedman.
Oh,
they'll shout out.
I love the way the stewards, they bring you in for going for a run that closes.
Yeah,
like,
well,
that's just, like,
yeah, it
sometimes
was
that's
hard.
not a bad that's just
Yeah.
bad luck.
Yeah.
All the time.
And it was like, you could see I was panicking. It wasn't a good ride.
I know.
And it was a horse that goes around the outside, and I think I switched. But yeah, then they were trying to get me in to say I was giving it a run. I was like, see how much I'm trying. I wasn't sitting pretty. I was panicking. It was making everything worse.
Did you get fire on it, or did you
No.
Apprentice school? No, it wasn't happening then.
No, that wasn't at the time. You couldn't have been sent back. No.
And,
Did you ever have much to do with D.A. Galuma, who now sits in jail? Did you know him being in jail?
No.
He's in jail.
Yeah?
He's been in jail for about 14 months.
Okay, no.
He's on
no.
kidnapping charges.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, so there's where you had the life of your graph of your life.
Yeah,
he's
that
right
was
down
the
here. He's
cruise.
down here.
That was
Are you
the-
down in
yeah.
Goulburn?
I don't think he'd be a gold, but would he?
Well, he's on kidnapping. He might put him in the Supermax.
Oh,
Well, he's a little jockey.
he's little. Yeah, he probably
a little
gets.
jockey in there with the boys.
and he's tight bars, I suppose.
Yeah, he gets straight and walk out.
Chicken wire up.
Chicken wire.
We liked the Diego.
I think
He never recovered from steward school.
No, he never retired. Another one that went back to steward school. And Jenny Duggan, any news where Jenny? She went back to steward school. Never heard of
She
her
just had
again.
a kid.
Oh, she's a baby. Oh, great.
Did she?
Going to ride again?
I think so.
Good
Yeah.
on her.
But she's not young. She's
No, she's not young.
mid-30s.
Yeah, with me.
Oh, so she's having babies late. Good on
Yeah.
her. Oh, well. That's well, at least we got the update. What's happened to Jenny Duggan?
Dude,
I've seen the
we've
ride
been-
school,
we've been-
she actually went. She really went back to riding.
Well,
school.
she
had a
was
baby.
going to cure cancer, wasn't she, Jay Duggan?
She was going well. Yeah.
Yeah, there was. Yeah.
But she would have actually won in the female riders. You'd probably back not to bounce okay too. She was
Well, out of
pretty
the girl
strong.
riders, besides Winona, who would you back? Who would you put your money on?
Oh no, but Dee Flindell is in love with an owner, isn't he?
You
Just
love it.
can't keep.
Where's Clinton? Samantha.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened to her.
Would you
Yeah,
back
she
her?
had a fall.
Right,
She-
so
oh,
She was going really well.
Steer by and snap.
Oh, okay.
That's not a good way to...
It was funny listening to Darren on Saturday with Kipling and.
Oh, he couldn't get it.
He couldn't get it.
Roddy
Kipling
Jupham
and-
and,
Yeah,
like,
Kipling.
okay, he
It was,
failed the first time.
Jupham and Kipling.
Jupham.
Jupham and Kipling, same colours.
He failed the first time,
Then
and I
the
thought,
second-
oh,
yeah,
okay,
I
well,
understand
you get it right now. But
He just could not get it around his head where Jupham and Kipling were. Same colours, and it was just doing his head. God, I was loving watching the tape this morning listening.
okay, but I instantly knew, and I'm no
so did I.
race caller.
Yeah.
Like simply, you know where they're drawn, so
know
you
where
know
they're
where
drawn.
they're going to be.
Straight away, you knew where they're going to be.
Yeah.
But that, you also have a bit of advantage of knowing their settling position over years of watching them.
But he's a race caller. He's
I
like,
know.
months.
And
Like, it just
I know.
time rolls by, get it right. What is going on here? Is friggin' autumn turning up?
Dashing
Spring
Keith.
turning up.
Dashing Keith wants to know if Glenn's ever given you a spray, Patrick.
No, we're
I
not.
said it was highly unlikely.
Yeah,
but
no.
I don't know.
No.
Can't
I never
spray.
give that style of jockey a spray. No, you know, I'm into the. I want
what,
to
you're feeling
attack.
sorry for them. Or something?
No, it just.
Nah, Glenn. Yeah.
I've never
Well,
given,
you're playing favourites.
I've never given Huey Bowman a spray. You'd have done my money.
Have you ever given a girl jockey a spray?
Not really. No.
No.
No. I tell a lot of them that when are we getting married and I'm going to date you and all that.
Yeah.
It does their head.
When he was on with Kathy, he's off with Kathy
Oh,
now.
off
He
with
was
Kathy now. She's
Been
Yeah,
off with Kathy
completely
for a
right.
long time.
yeah, a long time, but that was the
Yeah, but
thing.
there was a stage I
And
was-
sweet Kathy, June we're on. June
Yeah,
we
June,
booked
we're
in for the
getting
wedding.
married. Used to make a spin. No, mainly the elite type jockeys. You know, like Jimmy Cassidy,
Yeah.
Glenn Boss, up the top there. See, I'd never give the gun a spray. Clarkie and Parr, I muck around with.
But your spray.
Blake, I'd never give a spray.
Your
But I used to give Blake a spray pre his betting.
Yeah,
when he came back.
Oh, you were
I was
ruthless
awful.
on break.
But now he's a good boy. I love him.
But I mean, your spray days were 5-10 years ago, so you're probably talking. Oh, Karen used to get a great spray.
He used to give a good spray.
I remember.
And then he waved at me in
Then
the
he
car,
waved.
remember?
Then
That's right, remember one day, drove past, he went,
you know what? They've worn you down.
they have want me to lose.
They have, yeah, because they've been.
Oh,
They
he's
just
worse
loved you out of it.
No, I
Like
just...
Karen, it's impossible not to look at that beaming face and go, I love you.
Is he a personable bloke? You know, Cameron? He seems a nice fellow,
Yeah,
doesn't
he is really good.
Yeah, he does seem a nice bloke.
Brown.
Good family man.
Well, Brown we loved early, but he's just easy to spray late.
Yeah, he just became too much of an easy target.
Cheap shot now, isn't
It
it?
is a cheap shot now. It's just like, you know, he's over there eating all that fried rice.
Yeah.
Oh,
He comes back and you just sort of think, well, all you can do is laugh, really, can't you?
You just laugh at his face. Oh, there it is.
So,
He's a beauty to he's a beauty to be against in the marketplace, isn't he, old mate? We get a million broad talking, Aussie. That's it, love.
another one from Snowy. Now this,
Two from Snowy.
yeah, this says
Sitting at
now
home with nothing to do.
this was started now that you are allowed to bet, which you just said not yet.
Not yet,
but
but
hypothetically-
We're thinking Friday. There might be Patrick Murphy's golden set from Goulburn.
Yeah.
All right, that was got a new product.
Wait till see.
He said, this is actually a good question. Which trainers or jockeys will you be betting up on? So who's
I suppose
underrated?
you're betting on going on your
I-
local information, really, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
What
but
you
if I
want.
was to watch it, and just, I think, as I've like, been watching for that long, I reckon McDonald's a winner and a horse.
James?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think, well, you know, his record says that he wins everywhere, but just those horses that just don't seem to win, he seems to just be able to win on them.
Yeah.
We used to say that about Nash, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So you also said Penza before as a guy.
Yeah,
that
well,
you
Penza
like, yeah.
definitely. Like, I really think because I used to do the form, and when I do the form, a lot of the way I did the form was by the jockeys.
Okay.
So you could see a Penza, you can pick where they have their style of riding and where they're going to be in the run. So then if I see a horse that I think would really suit Jeff, you know, like he, as I said, he's good. He put him where he wants to put him.
Yeah.
And if you think he's going to lob in that place, 9 times out of 10 he does.
What,
So if you see a horse that you get, this was like, Graham had a horse the other day with that race to Canberra, and it was emergency, so he didn't have a lot of jockeys to choose from, but he had a kid on it, which I don't think can ride very. I think the horses run for him. I don't like his attitude in the sense, but I knew it would suit the horse because you just tell him just go, and just go as fast as you can, and like it just got beat ahead at 20-1. Like they're the ones where you say.
Right.
I think
So
I
you-
match up a
you know
horse
some
with
style.
a horse with a jockey.
Now that you're not on the inner, you're going to be, as you get older, more on the outer.
Outer.
How are you going to go doing your form with these Pirates of Penzance around the country?
Yeah, no, that's right.
You
It's
know,
gonna be
you know the
different.
riders I mean.
Yeah, but then I do.
Your Betfair Bandits.
Yeah, but no, it'd be just more watching the tapes and
Just doing your best.
doing my best.
Yeah. And then a
You
follow
don't have
up.
to have a million bets a week when you're riding track week. You can have one bet a month.
Yeah, I want to have
You
some
might be
betting.
able
Another one, which I don't know if Patrick's going to answer this, but who would you put a red pen through? Jockeys and trainers.
Still too close.
Still too close. Still too close.
No, that's right.
We'll get him back in 3 years.
Yeah, exactly
As I
right.
said, like that apprentice, like I won't mention his name, but he's one there.
And
You'd put your line through him 9 times out of 10.
Right.
But just because this horse is dumb horse that matched him, that just going hard on, like you know. So there would be a couple there, but there's not really any that I. There's not really many that I.
Just say, like, you know, we see tactics and all that sort of stuff. A lot of the thing you probably don't factor into a lot is tractability for a horse and how well a horse can just travel for a rider.
Yeah.
And you see when like Blake's on and then Huey's there, and it just looks like that they're at one with the horse.
Yep.
How much difference do you reckon between, say, that elite and not so elite? If they're in a straight line,
Yeah.
running, say, 600 metres in a straight line, and they're on a horse of the same ability, just from that balance and the able to ride it, how much difference do you think it could be?
I don't think it really matters if the horse has a lot of ability.
Yeah.
I think the difference is, the horses that don't have a lot of ability, that's where the key comes in. You know, the horse has got a lot of ability, you'll back yourself to go with them.
Yeah.
And like I was never probably the most stylish rider, and I wouldn't suit some horses. You know, where you look at it like the elite, like your Joe Moreras and your Zacks and that in
Yeah.
Hong Kong, they can pick a horse up off the ground.
Well, that's sort of
a Nash.
that's
They
sort of the
pick a
point.
horse
Like
up.
with Joe, you see, like tactically, we saw how awful he was over
Yeah.
the carnival,
Yeah.
but for some reason, horses just seem to run faster for him in a straight line than they do for others.
I honestly-
What's that all about?
Yeah, well, I honestly don't think there's. If you got the list of the jockeys we're talking about before the elite, I honestly don't think there is much between them. You know, and which is the proof's there. You know, they've all competed on the same level, and they all take the turns of having good seasons and winning. But I think it's just like any professional sport. You're going to have someone better at something than the others. So it's like, you know, football players, one's faster than the other, but he's more tactical and he's got better defence. And then the whole, as again, let's bring up State of Origin, that whole two teams are pretty much just as good as each other. And I think that's a good jockey side too. Like, as I said, McDonald...
You're looking for a bit of the way the ball bounces, but you're lucky in running. Did you get that spot?
Exactly, yeah.
You know,
that's
like
right.
The Origin can be decided over one bad refereeing call.
Exactly right. And the same with their horses. They've only got the animals, like, you know, they've only got to miss at the head, and then everything's out the door, and then you go there.
Instead of being 5th defence, they're 7th defence and can't win.
But that's why you look at those good jockeys, they just sort of find a way to win, you know.
I've got one question from a form point of view. When your horse cops a check early, like, you sort of, as a punter, you watch a video, you see it, it might lose a couple of lengths, but then the rest of the race is uninterfered with. How much does that put a horse off? Does it spit the dummy sort of thing, or does some get over it? Or
a lot of the no good ones, you know. Like, and when I started riding, Zach Burton taught me, he said, don't listen to anyone else, but the races are won and lost in the first 50 metres.
Right.
And it's so true, because if you can get out and get the spot you wanted, well then you're right. But if you miss that, you get half a check, well naturally that's not the spot you want. A lot of horses do overreact, but then as I was saying before, you get stuck behind a horse you don't want to be following. And especially in the lower grade races, they're going nowhere from a long way out, and it's you're pretty much forced there, or you got to take off around them.
And you're not on a champion yourself.
That's
either.
right. You've got to pick your horse up, and you know he needs every inch.
So,
and it's so true. Those country places, it is. You know, the races are won and lost in the first 50.
Yeah, we want to believe that the best horses are winning the races, but there's so little difference in ability in a lot of races that it's just all about what happens in run.
Yeah, it is.
So we look at two races from Saturday, and there's Lockroy and Rockalong, two blousing winners from a fortnight back. They've run 99th because they were completely flattered by what happened 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they come off massive PRs,
and
then they get to Saturday and things just pan out differently. Rockalong is unbelievable. Like, it has not picked a bit up at all. And Lockroy, well, we know it's a bludger. There's something wrong with him. He's a real in and out of it. If things fall his way, he can look unbelievable, and if they don't, he looks flat and off, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's you know, the differences are minute.
Yeah. I suppose it makes the game so delicious.
Huh?
That's what makes the game so delicious.
Oh, it is. You know, it's all about inches, and it's not a matter of just putting them down and the cream will rise to the top.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's what makes the game just so. That's what we're all about.
And one from final one from Lee Dalton. Are you going on the Dazzler diet?
What dude?
You seen the Dazzler?
Yeah, no.
150 kilos, the Dazzler.
I'm happy to be. I don't.
You said before the show you haven't weighed yourself since you retired.
I haven't.
Your last ride, sorry.
So, I know of.
Great feeling.
It is very good.
If you stay with Tash for the rest of eternity or whatever, let's hope you do and have a lovely life, you'll never weigh yourself again. But if you ever break it and get too good, you'll be out there training and getting it's just like all men. Different hairs.
the flash sunglasses, the suit, and lost a lot of weight.
The silver
But it's
bit.
good
Hello, darling. Do you remember me, Patrick Murphy? Race runner?
I'll still go to the gym and go to the sauna and that, but just this time I have a big liter bottle of water with me.
Yeah.
And you know, instead of wrapping myself up in sweat gear and beanies and
Probably
everything. And
a
Just trying to
healthier.
be healthy.
Right, yeah,
Probably
be
be better
healthy
for
and
you. Enjoy your life.
drink water and work out. So.
Well, that was good from that. All right.
Beautiful. All right.
Now, Dal.
We'll just we'll keep going. You obviously Patrick could be a budding media star at Sky Channel, Glenn. So he might as well.
Yeah, well, I just had to spit. Sorry.
you get a job at Sky.
I've got the bad chest in the
All right, we'll go.
I might have the chest cancer.
No.
The shin cancer cleared up. Everything I do clears up.
The Blake cancer.
The Blake cancer.
The Blake shin cancer.
Oh, the Blake. No, shin cancer. Remember? Not Blake shin.
You know, Glenn. You know Glenn's on. How you got what?
2.5 years ago.
2.5 years to go, and he's necking himself.
55,
You know
I'm
that.
going to on that tree over there.
Oh yeah.
Put a rope up. Now, what sort of viewing is that going to
That's
be?
a bit weak, that tree.
We better build our numbers up before we don't want to waste that one.
Anyway, well, talking about dead ends, Chris, last week on Glenn's show, Glenn wanted emails in about how many dead people have seen, and my number is 10. The first two I witnessed.
Well, I'm 2. Remember, I was 2.
Yeah.
Old mate on the beach and Chinese Dave's dad.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Mark and I contributed 1. And
No, I'm 0.
You're 0.
No,
You haven't seen a dead person?
Yeah.
How many have you seen?
I'd say one on the way to track work one day.
So there's not a lot of dead people you see in life. It's
Well,
like
We're quite protected from it.
Yeah, they don't parade
I'm
around.
more than halfway through. Yeah, they don't parade, but you just think you can't. Well, look, if you lived in another country, you walk down the street, there's a million dead people.
Oh yeah, they do. They just leave them on the road.
the
Yeah,
gutter.
that's what they do.
Oh, mates.
Yeah, in
It's amazing. We've been here like a couple hundred years. We were like
between us.
flowing water. You don't see any rubbish. You go to places that have been there 1,500 years. They've got dead people stuck to the corner.
Yeah, that's what they do. Yeah.
Well, we're freaking wealthy, just insanely wealthy.
It must be just insane world. Because you look at places like India and that, India's been here forever. Why
Yes.
can't they get some sewage system in?
Well, they just don't have a council that's loaded that goes around. That
Can't
you
they
can
get some
employ.
councils after 2,000 years? That's what I'm saying. That's
It's
exactly what
not
I'm
set
saying.
up like that.
What does that mean?
We've got a capitalist society that's got a pointy end, and if you're at the pointy end, you've got, you've
Got
got a nice
the
job.
sewer system.
But then also you got to put up with
I did the sewer
the nanostate too as well too. There's like with the sanitation comes rules.
We're not far off wearing helmets when we walk down the street. That's right. I can't wait for the walking helmet. You know?
Gotta have it.
Yeah, you're just like, you say you've been booked. You actually, you're outside without a helmet. Oh, I'm so sorry. Anyway,
how much is the OH&S thing? Has that been a real intrusion in a jockey's life, or is
Oh,
it?
not really.
No,
it's
it's
been because I remember I started when Vest came in.
Yeah.
Track work, and then everyone was like shocked about.
Everyone
the
was
Vest,
blowing
and then-
up about it,
yeah,
weren't they?
And then
We
it
don't
just
wanna wear
went
this.
like that, and it's sort of
Now
come
it's
on
to
good.
go. It's just like
Everything's just normal. Yeah, the Vest and the Vest are saying the races and everything now they're that good that you would feel naked without it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
so we can get used to anything.
Yeah, exactly.
well, I blew up so
We can
bad.
get used to walking helmets.
I blew up so bad about the plastic notes when they came in compared to the paper notes.
Oh,
Like,
it is.
how are we going to put up with
still hard
these?
to
Yeah.
learn. They're still hard
They're
to
still
learn.
hard, but you get used to them. And then they call it the $1 and $2 coins. It's
Oh.
like you lost a note.
Yeah.
I'm never going to be able to put it out. Now I can't imagine life without it.
There's plenty of people who are pro plastic notes. Chris, Glenn wanted emails in about how many dead people he'd seen, and my number is 10. The first two I witnessed were clearly the most gruesome, or as Glenn would probably say, the most entertaining.
I dig death.
It was a Gaelic football match with my grandmother, who was now one of the 10 deadies. When I was about 12 years old, and they decided to go through with the halftime entertainment despite the inclement weather, which was a bunch of parachuters supposedly landing in the middle of the oval.
Oh, this would be fantastic.
One missed his target by a long way and cannoned into the side of the grandstand, hanging there by his chute until cut down by the officials' paramedics.
Oh, Jesus.
Well, being 12 at the time, I thought he'd be all right, but heard on the radio on the way home he had died.
Wow, that's an afternoon's entertainment. More than you. The
The
second was riding
What
home.
did
Yeah,
you
go.
bargain for?
second was riding home from school when I was in year 9 when a lady stepped in front of a semi-trailer about 10 seconds before I arrived. She had her head decapitated and I could see her insides through her neck hole.
Wow, how old was he?
He said in year 9, so what's that?
He would have got a horn out of that. That was like
Being 12.
That's
Yeah.
like a flash of titties
Yeah.
or something, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
that's just unbelievable, man.
The others aren't as interesting as are all my viewings at funerals, but included 18-year-old mate, 2 grandmas, 1 grandpa, mum, partner, my partner's 2 brothers, and Uncle Wayne about a month ago. I never thought that was a lot for a 40-year-old, but after you 4 could only get 3 between you, maybe it is, Chris.
No, 10's a good number, Chris. Well done. That's
What
a
a-
very
Yeah.
achiever. Yeah, you're an overachiever. We're the only show in the world that will bring up subjects like this.
Love it.
Look, yeah, it is interesting though, isn't it?
Peter said, watch the preview, boys. Any chance Mark could explain his staking plan in race 1 for Saturday's Rosal meeting?
What'd you say?
Race 1 being Libido Sun and the other horse,
Leader, 2
leader with the
favourites.
2 horses that you had.
Yes, that's a very good question.
What were you tipping?
It's basically I tip leader from Roberto Sun, right?
But he,
Yeah. well,
Actually,
Yeah, but-
I did a beautiful thing in that race. I said that Leader would start 2:30 and Libido Sun would start 3:50. At the time, Libido Sun was 2:30
Yes.
and Leader was 4:40.
Okay, so they did start 250 and 290. You were pretty close. You were spot on.
But unfortunately, I staked them both as well, which was an unfortunate aspect of the race. But it was about how I got to the prices I got to. So
Was SP profile?
it's a bit hard to explain. No, what happened was I tipped Leader from Libido Sun and I
Yeah.
had more on Libido Sun.
yeah, I think you had 5 and 4 years.
We have
More
losing
impressive.
races.
Yeah. So
We look-
But he's wondering how he arrived at that position. He
Peter-
had more on the horse he didn't like.
Peter,
Oh,
yeah, it's-
stay tuned for Friday's show, and I'll come up with a better explanation. Okay.
Okay.
All right, we gave Keith's thing for the name.
Okay, Gary.
And was
Gary
it
mentioned
drop
all-time
there,
anchor drop at race 7.
I have another notation there.
When Harvey, M. Graham still hasn't reacted to the
You were
moves.
there.
I was there and I remember going to the front, but I didn't you know, you don't notice all the ankle drops you do the tapes. I mean, it was about my 17th meeting in a row.
The best news from Weil was that I found a new favourite jockey. Who'd have thought it?
Who was it?
Thompson. Prince High. Honestly, punters are so fickle that whoever they back that one on, they go, oh, jeez, that one that right.
He did ride it perfect, didn't he? He did ride it perfect.
He's back with you, RT.
What about me in the stands? I gave
He's one you give it to all the time, Robert Thompson.
I got there a bit late. The choppers were getting clean. I got there 20 minutes before the first, and
Were you like, okay?
I was okay because I knew I know exactly how far it is. I got there and I watched them parade. And I went, oh yeah. Mark the favourite is hard to beat. It's the first race. Blah blah blah. There was something down the bottom. There was
What, to the governor or something?
No, not the governor. No, there was two horses down the bottom. One was McNair's horse, about 33. So I got
Yeah.
I got $100 out of it, and then there was something else I got about 300. And I'll stand the favourite. I'll lay the odds on chance for that. I had a book, so I went to watch the race. The favourite, who was favourite, did me $700. Yeah, these two others both did me $2,000, and every other horse won me $2,500. And I had the three things going for me: Prince High, the governor, and there was another horse. So that was my book. I didn't have anything cash, just had my Betfair book. I was running a bit late, and the favourite, Arrow Valley, goes to the lead. I go, oh yeah, I'm in the stand, and there's Robert out of the bleachers, and there's me in the stand. Go Robert! Go Robert! I was just sickening to watch, like honestly. And it came with such momentum, you knew I was always going to get there. So getting to the 100, here's Robert wins me $2,500, or I do 700. If I do 700, to me that's like,
I'm the favourite, that's fine.
I'm happy to do 700. And but there's me screaming and things.
Go Robert! Yeah.
Like me and Rob.
Yeah.
And I kept thinking as he was going past me, I thought, don't yell too loud. He might look up and hear you. Fuck you, Bollard. But I won on Robert too. It was.
So that was the.
That's just how
the
low
fashion snips,
punters are.
The fashion snips for a while. Darren Flindell. They won't get that.
Yeah, we called the other one the winner. He called the other one.
Well, the margin was narrow. I haven't seen the race yet, but
always got it.
It was a good
But
Always got
there
it.
was bigger news out of Weil, of course, and the photo has got Glenn's new sponsorship line, which we're surprised not to see the Adidas top.
About 4 people asked me during the week, oh, this Adidas jumper, and I'm going, yeah. And I say the same story to every person, and they think that I'm telling the truth. I said they're $60 each or 2 for $70, and I wait down the shops for when one person only wants to buy one, they get the other one for $10. They go, oh, that's weird. I actually get 2 for $7.
Anyway,
Someone said, what did old mate in the fishing hat ask you? He came around and had a chat.
Old mate's a regular.
He came around and had a chat to you.
Yeah, he said, where'd you get that Adidas jumper?
Anyway, Marco B.
He's a Dutch bloke. He's a nice fella.
Well, how much did it set the great man back? I think it inspired me to grab one for myself.
And they're 2 for 70 at
Star King.
2 for 70 at Rebel, they were.
Yeah,
That's why I've got 2 of them.
Does he take that off?
I'll wear it all.
obviously.
Can we
Go to the
option
race.
a signed one on the show? Your second one? Glenn Pollock's. We got to pick a charity.
I will when I get. I'll bring it back next season.
I'll tell you what we might about auction off
early.
the tent. Whatever happened to the tent?
The tent's in the back of the boot.
Is it? Yeah, the tent got barred because I had it down as being voodoo tent. We were going on a really good patch, and then he produced this sort of tent, like it wasn't a jacket, it was the mobile tent. And whenever for that moment on, we lost about the next 10 meetings. I said, "That's it, the tent's barred." Anyway, surely a replica hoodie can be sold through the site. Does a dress like Get Glenn campaign?
Just like
Do I dress bad or good?
No, you dress well
Hipster.
because people,
Hip's not there.
yeah,
Young
people say to me, oh, you're like Glenn's good style bloke. You like
Younger, yeah, even though I'm older. I've only got 2.5 years left. I've got one to go anyway.
Anyway, they'll probably see you. No, well, the hoodies will see you out there.
Yeah, Hoodie might see me out. I'll leave him to people. I'll leave some of my clothes to people on the show.
There it is.
Why don't we have a charity auction after you go?
I've got 3 pairs of these good style of chips. What do they call them?
Bet you fakes it and get the money.
Coming from a jockey, eh? No one to bag me.
And Matt Williams, surely sponsorship on the way. Billboards all over the world.
Thanks, Matt.
Well, one of the people did copy Adidas into the. A couple of people have copied Adidas into the tweet, so their marketing people, I'm sure, will be on to our marketing people and
Yeah, Matt, if they get onto you, I'll take anything.
Adidas might approach you and say, all right, we'll give
I'll
you
be
a
like,
lifetime supply of Adidas. You're like, I'll take it.
Before they say add 100,000 a year, I go, I'll take it.
Who told you to take that?
From Kate. G'day,
Kate.
I know who Kate is.
Thanks for delivering interesting and enlightening viewing. Devastated, Mr. Pilot. It would be my shout because you.
I see you knocked her back.
I met her. I know who it is. It's a friend of mine's wife. She's a lovely girl. She's just teasing us up.
Right.
Yeah, she's just teasing me up. I thought it was someone I was sweet with. Thanks,
Still a
mate.
chance.
Yeah, I'm never a chance.
Oh, around here.
He hasn't been to
Hey,
Magic.
Margie, all you need are your keys, mate. I don't have my keys, just asking your service. Just chuck the keys in the bowl around here, Glenn, you sweet.
And not even not ever thrown the keys in the bowl. I've never seen these bowls you blokes talk.
Just stay around here for about half an hour after the show. You wouldn't know what goes on here. You wouldn't know what goes on here, Glenn. Lots of feedback from Nick on the show last week. It was great to have on Nick Ashman.
A lot of people grabbed me during the week because they enjoyed Nick Ashman. Because I left halfway. Last week. Let's go to shits and went. And I had to go because I had something on.
Yeah.
A luncheon.
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever.
There was a special on Eddie
a
That's
lot of blokes said to me, "Oh, Nick was entertaining."
Yeah.
Good value.
Oh yeah, he did.
Got stuck in it?
Well, yeah, there's not very I suppose the places where Nick works, he can't show his true personality
I
all that
know
well.
what we
He's
do
very dark.
is different, and we get accolades or people like what we do because it's different to what mainstream is. But isn't there a thirst for what having? Like, how good would mainstream go if it got a bit more fair income?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd love to see Nick's articles if he was actually allowed to be totally Nick. May get sued after the first few days.
It comes with the clean joint, the
yeah.
sanitised joint. It's all part of the. You know,
Yeah,
it's the price we pay.
They tried to get a bit.
For having sewage.
They tried to get a bit real on Q&A during the week, and now they're saying they should ABC should be shut
Americans
down.
good how they.
Yeah,
and the Telegraph,
that's
good, and that's been received well.
And it sort of was a bit gloves off to say, we are going to blue and all that sort of stuff. It was almost.
Gallen and said at least a lot of drug cheap and all that.
Yeah, they got a bit real.
They got into it and they sort of said what they wanted to do.
It was almost like we went back 15 years ago, didn't it? And you're thinking, are you going to be allowed to say this? Des said, I think all trainers premierships should be renamed the chemical warfare premierships.
Good call, Des.
It's unfair call.
Now, in Crow form, have you remember the
Who's
Hitler?
Crow for? Was that the Crow bloke?
No, he's with Twitter. Regular. He saw, you remember the Hitler thing, and they said the punter. Right.
We're on again.
We're just wrapping up this. Yeah. Cool. Yeah,
we were talking about.
And as I was saying, there's if you search on YouTube, famed Mexican horse trainer El Cobalto weighs into the drug debate. It's very funny.
Have you read it?
Did you have a look at it?
Yeah,
It's like this. It's this Mexican chat show sort of thing, and this Mexican bloke who looks, I don't know, whatever. He's just pissing himself and says, "Yeah, the Cobalt. Yeah, the fucking stewards were standing in a pile of it, the dumb shits, and they didn't even realise." It looks very funny. So type in famed Mexican horse trainer El Cobalto weighs into the drug debate.
All right, beautiful.
And you'll get that, and that'll do for part 2.
Fantastic.
Beautiful.